My grandmother cleaned her kitchen sink the same way every single night from 1965 until the year she passed. One bowl, three things off the shelf, no bottle with a skull on the label, no rubber gloves, no holding her breath against the fumes. And here is the part the cleaning companies would rather you never sat down and thought about. The white porcelain in that farmhouse sink stayed brighter and cleaner than any sink I have ever seen in a magazine. Her family of 6 never once passed a stomach bug around that kitchen. Not once in 30 years. She used to say the bleach under most people's sinks was doing half the job for 10 times the price. And she was right. The year was 1965. A bottle of bleach cost real money in a house where every dollar had a name already written on it. So she did what her own mother taught her at a wash basin during the Depression. She mixed 3 plain things together, and that mixture has cleaned that sink longer than most people watching this have been alive. Today I am going to show you exactly how she did it, step by step, the same way it was shown to me at that kitchen table. I am going to show you why it kills more of what makes you sick than the bleach you are paying for right now. And stay with me because near the end, I am going to tell you the one mistake almost everybody makes that turns this from the safest thing in your kitchen into something you should never breathe. That part matters more than all the rest. Here's the thing most people never stop to ask. Why does a kitchen sink get dirty in the first place? Not the dishes, the sink itself. You rinse raw chicken in it. You scrape plates into it. You pour out the gray water from the mop bucket. That drain and that basin see more raw bacteria in a single day than your toilet seat does in a week. Studies on household germs have found that exact thing for decades. The kitchen sink is one of the dirtiest surfaces in the whole house, dirtier than most people would ever believe. And what does the average person do about it? They give it a quick wipe with the same sponge they used on last night's dinner plates, and they spread the mess around instead of killing it. The cleaning companies know this. That is their whole business. They need you afraid of your own kitchen, so you keep reaching for the bottle. But fear is not the same as clean. My grandmother was never afraid of her sink. She just understood it. If you have ever opened a fresh bottle of bleach and felt that sting hit the back of your throat, you already know your body is telling you something. That is not the smell of clean. That is a warning. Bleach is harsh. It fades anything it touches. And the moment it dries, it stops working entirely. It cannot scrub. It just sits on the surface. My grandmother's method does 3 jobs at once, and it does every one of them better. If this is already making you rethink what is under your sink right now, do me a small favor and tap that subscribe button. And turn on the notification bell while you are there. There is a whole generation of these old kitchen table tricks I am working through, and I would hate for you to miss the next one. Now let me tell you the 3 things she used because there is nothing on that list you do not already have within 10 feet of you. The first is plain baking soda, the yellow box, the one that has sat in the back of every refrigerator in America for 100 years. Baking soda is a gentle scrubbing powder. It lifts grease, it pulls out stains, and it scours off the grime without scratching the porcelain or the steel the way the harsh powders do. But here is what most people never learned. Baking soda also kills odor at the source. It does not cover the smell up with perfume the way the store sprays do. It changes the very thing that is making the smell. A sink that has gone sour down in the drain comes back to life with a handful of it. The second thing is plain white vinegar. The gallon jug, the cheap one, the kind that costs about the same as a loaf of bread, Vinegar is an acid, a mild one. An acid is what cuts through the hard water film, the soap scum, and the cloudy buildup that makes an old sink look gray and tired. But vinegar does something far more important than make things shine. Vinegar kills germs, real ones. Researchers have tested plain household vinegar against the same bacteria that make families sick, and it knocks them down. It is not a marketing claim, it is the acid doing what acid has always done. The third thing is the one that surprises people, and it is a single cut lemon. Half a lemon, the part you would have thrown in the trash after squeezing it over your fish. The oil in a lemon peel is one of the oldest cleaners there is. It cuts grease, it leaves the whole kitchen smelling like a clean summer morning, and the juice itself fights germs the same way the vinegar does. My grandmother never wasted a thing. The lemon that flavored the supper went on to clean the sink it was eaten over. 3 things: baking soda, vinegar, and a spent lemon. Together they scrub, they shine, and they kill germs. And they cost almost nothing because 2 of them are things most people already throw away. We are about halfway through, so let me say this plainly before I show you the steps. If you are getting value out of this, the kindest thing you can do is leave a like on this video. It is free, it takes 1 second, and it is the only way the people who need to hear this actually get shown it. That is the whole reason these old ways got forgotten in the first place. Nobody was passing them along anymore. Now here's exactly how she did it, and I want you to do it in this order because the order is the whole secret. First, you run the hot water and you rinse the basin down to clear off the loose crumbs in the food. Just a few seconds. You are clearing the table before you set it. Second, while the porcelain is still damp, you take that yellow box and you shake a good handful of baking soda across the whole sink. The bottom, the sides, right up around the rim where the grime hides. Do not be shy with it. It should look like a light snow has fallen across the whole basin. Third, you take your cut lemon and you use it like a scrubbing pad. You press it right into the baking soda and you scrub in slow circles. The lemon and the soda turn into a soft paste under your hand, and that paste gets down into every scratch and every worn spot the sponge always skips over. You scrub the bottom, you scrub the sides, you scrub around the faucet where the green and the white buildup likes to gather. Your kitchen will already be starting to smell like something clean and bright instead of something chemical. Fourth, and this is the step that does the deep work, you pour the white vinegar right over the baking soda. Now it foams, it hisses and bubbles up white, and people see that and think something magic is happening. It is not magic, it is simple, but that foam is doing real work. It is lifting the loosened grime up off the surface and carrying it where you can rinse it away. You let that foam sit and work for a few minutes. Walk away, wipe your counters, let it do its job. Fifth, you take a cloth, a plain cloth, and you wipe the whole basin down with the foam still on it, working it one more time into the corners and around the drain. Then you rinse it all away with hot water. That is it. The sink underneath comes out bright, it comes out smooth, and it comes out clean, down at the level where the germs actually live, not just on the top where a spray would have stopped. And do not forget the drain itself because that is where the real trouble hides. The last handful of baking soda goes straight down the drain, followed by a good pour of vinegar. You let it foam down in the dark where you cannot see, and you flush it with hot water after a few minutes. That breaks up the grease that is coating the inside of your pipes and clears out the sour smell that no amount of spraying the top of the sink will ever fix. My grandmother did that every single night, and her drain never once backed up in 30 years. Not once. The whole thing takes about 3 minutes. 3 minutes. And the things you used cost you almost nothing, and most of it was headed for the trash anyway. Compare that to the cabinet full of bottles most people have now. Every one of them with a different job, every one of them with a warning printed on the back, and most of them half empty and forgotten. Now here's the part I told you to stay for, and I mean it, because this is the one thing you must get right. You use the vinegar and you use the bleach on separate days, or better yet, you throw the bleach out entirely, and you never look back. You must never, ever mix vinegar with bleach. If you have bleach in your sink and you pour vinegar on top of it, the two of them together make a gas that can genuinely hurt you. This is the single mistake people make when they hear this method and try to combine it with what they already have under the counter. Do not do that. The whole point of my grandmother's way is that you do not need the bleach at all. The baking soda, the vinegar, and the lemon do the entire job by themselves, and they do it without a single thing that can harm you. Clear the bleach out first, then this method is one of the safest things you will ever do in your kitchen. We are nearly at the end, and I want to ask you one more small thing, because it truly is the only thing that keeps these videos going. If you have not yet, please subscribe and tap that notification bell. So the next time I sit down to share one of these the way it was shared with me, you are the first to see it. I think about why this got lost. There was a time when every house on the street cleaned a sink this way because that was simply how it was done. Then somewhere along the line, somebody figured out there was no money in a yellow box and a gallon of vinegar, and an awful lot of money in a shelf full of bright bottles, each one promising to do what three plain things had always done together. So the bottles got the television commercials, and the kitchen table way got quietly left behind. It did not stop working. It never stopped working. It just stopped being sold to you. My grandmother kept doing it her way right up to the end, in the same kitchen, with the same yellow box and the same gallon jug on the same shelf where they had always sat. That sink outlasted every fancy cleaner the neighbors ever bought. And the night I learned she was gone, the thing I kept coming back to was that quiet little bowl of baking soda and that half a lemon, and how something so small and so plain had kept a whole family healthy for so long without anyone ever making a dollar off of it. So tonight, before you go to bed, try it just once. The yellow box, the gallon of vinegar, and a lemon you were going to throw away anyway. 3 minutes at your own sink. Then run your hand across that porcelain in the morning and feel how smooth and how clean it comes out. And ask yourself why you were ever paying for anything more. If this brought back a memory of how your own mother or grandmother kept her kitchen, or if you are going to try this yourself tonight, then leave a like so it finds the next person, and subscribe and turn on that bell so you never miss one of these. Thank you for sitting with me today. I will see you in the next one.